Y'all want to get up off that one, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. And again, brothers and sisters, for those that just met me, I'm Brother D-Berry from the Memphis class. Happy Sabbath to y'all.
Happy Sabbath.
My brother reading today is Brother Rashad. And before we get to the lesson, brothers and sisters, let us turn our books to Exodus, the 20th chapter. We're going to read the law, Exodus chapter 20. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. Exodus chapter 20, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. When you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Amen. Now, brothers, so let us turn our books to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. We're going to pick it up at verse 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, we're going to read verses 13 and 14. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Praise the Lord. Now, brothers and sisters, if you would, turn your books to Revelation chapter 22, and we're going to pick it up at verse 14 and 15 when we get there. Revelation 22, 14 and 15. Go ahead, my brother.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Yes, sir. So in 3 places we've already read, brothers and sisters, the keys to eternal life.
Yes.
Keeping the law.
Yes, sir.
Let that always resonate in your heads, brothers and sisters. Without that law, we ain't getting into the kingdom.
Facts.
So with that being said, brothers and sisters, we're going to go ahead and get into the lesson. Again, it's an honor to stand before y'all on the Lord's Sabbath day. It's an honor for us to be in this building together, keeping this holy convocation with one another. And brothers and sisters, today we're going to talk about prayer. In fact, the title of the lesson is Prayer, a Solemn Request to the Lord. And the reason why I put that word solemn in there, because the word means that something's supposed to be formal or dignified. You know, you're supposed to come at the Lord with some respect, with some knowledge, with some understanding. And prayer just been downgraded lately. You know, people say prayer, they got little nursery rhymes and stuff that come with prayer. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Amen. You didn't do nothing. You know, I see you on the movies. There used to be an old TV show called The Three Stooges used to come on. Anytime Curly or Moe get scared, they do this and they pray. I'm like, you ain't did nothing. You know, and for years, brothers and sisters, it's like our ability to be able to communicate with God, make a request before God, it's been watered down. It's like we're not taking it serious. This is your direct line to the Lord. It's your prayer. And we can't take that lightly. So we're going to just look at this thing today, brothers and sisters. Again, the title is Prayer, a solemn request to the Lord. And we're going to pick this up in Philippians, the 4th chapter. We're going to get right into it. Because you just can't say anything to the Lord, and you just can't come at the Lord a certain type of way.
That's right.
Thing about it, people can't come to you a certain type of way and just ask for something. Mm-hmm. Let somebody walk up on you and smack you in the face and say, now, since I smack you, give me $20. You're going to be like, what?
Right.
Get out my face with that. But people want to smack the Lord all in the face, walk over his laws, and then ask him for something. Don't even sound right out the gate, do it.
No,
but Philippians 4, and we're going to pick it up at verse 6. Philippians 4 and verse 6. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
Be careful for nothing.
Yes, sir.
But in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God.
And see, this is the thing, brothers. So this is the understanding we're supposed to have. Everything in your life, you're supposed to make a request for God about it.
That's right.
Everything is according to his will, brothers and sisters. Hey, if you make it to work on time, that's the Lord's will.
Yeah.
Hey, if you get your check on time, that's the Lord's will. If you want peace in your house, whatever, that's the Lord's will. So it said in everything, make your request known to God. And that's what it is. That's what prayers are, brothers and sisters. It's a request. It's like you picking up the phone and calling the Lord. It's your one opportunity to ask the Lord for something. But the thing is, you can't just come at him however.
That's right.
Let's look at something. Let's go to Matthew, the 6th chapter. Because keep in mind, this is a request now. This is a request. This is you asking God for something. We're going to go to Matthew 6, and we're going to read one verse real quick. We're going to read verse 5. Matthew 6, and we're going to pick it up at verse 5. Because the true and living God, Jesus, brothers and sisters, he's not the author of confusion. Even when it comes to praying, he know who real and he know who fake. He's going to point something out in this verse. Matthew 6, verse 5. What does it read, brother?
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are.
Oh, so apparently there's a such thing as fake hypocrites. People that are praying to God but ain't doing something. We're going to figure out what it is they ain't doing. But keep reading.
For they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Hey, the Lord said, verily I say, truly I say unto you, they going to get there.
Yeah.
But he pointed something out, brothers and sisters. Hypocrites. Yeah. People that are going around, oh, Lord, please, Father, praying out loud in the church, praying out loud in the streets, want to be seen. That's not how you're supposed to do it, brothers and sisters. But the Lord say hypocrites are praying. He said hypocrites are praying, and we're not supposed to do this. So before we go any further, hold your marker here because we're coming back. We got to figure out what hypocrites do. So real quick, let's go to Titus, the 1st chapter. Because you don't want to be no hypocrite.
That's right, brother.
Used to be an old saying, sometimes the loudest person in the room is the fakest.
Mm-hmm. The weakest.
We're going to Titus 1, brother, so we're going to pick it up at verse 15 and 16. Titus 1, and we're going to read 15 and 16. When you get there, my brother, keep feeding us.
Unto the pure, all things are pure.
And the pure, that's the righteous, brothers. And so that's those are the ones standing in the laws and the commandments, walking therein. Go ahead.
But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But even their mind and conscience is defiled.
Now, these are to the defiled and the unbelievers, right? Yes. But what do? What did the next verse say?
They profess that they know God.
Hey, they profess that they know God. How do they profess that they know God? With their mouth. Oh, Lord Jesus, thank you, Father, the creator and maker of all. Oh, Lord, that woke up, that made the sun rise this morning, that made the moon go down last night. Sir. You hear this. Yes. You hear him come just like this. But what do? Keep reading.
But in works, they deny him.
In works, they deny him. You don't want to keep the Sabbath day. Yes. You don't want to walk in the law. But you thank you, Jesus. Right. You Lord, yes. Thank you, Father. You doing all that, but you ain't keeping no law.
They deny him.
Go ahead, bro.
Being abominable.
And
disobedient.
But with their mouth, keep in mind what it said at the gate on verse 16.
Yes,
with their mouth, they profess that they know God. But they disobedient.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And abominable.
And abominable. Go ahead.
And unto every good work reprobate.
And to every good work reprobate. Everything the Lord tell you to do, you do the opposite. Hey, it's a dietary law. Clean and unclean, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. Oh no, the Lord said, I'm going to pray over it. No. They want to say all that mess to you.
Right.
But with their mouth, they profess that they know God. Hypocrites, brothers and sisters. Let's keep going. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2.
Yes,
1 John chapter 2. This will go on. Hey, Brother John, social media ain't going to like this lesson. Social media ain't going to like this one. We're going to 1 John chapter 2, and we're going to read one verse, verse 4. 1 John chapter 2, and we're going to read verse 4. When you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments.
What is he, brother?
A liar.
This the book saying this. The book calling him a liar. Yeah, I know the Lord. He's my personal savior. You keep the commandments, they nailed to the cross. What is he?
A liar.
Go ahead, brother.
And the truth is not in him.
Ain't no truth in him.
That's right. That's right.
But he say he know the Lord. No. We beg to differ.
Right.
We beg to differ, brothers and sisters. Now, let's go back to Matthew 6. Because, see, now we know what a hypocrite is.
Yes.
Because the Lord pointed them out. The Lord pointed out that these people are praying to him. This is what everybody overlooking. The Lord knew who real and who fake.
That's right.
And he going to point it out. You think you can just act like you serve the Lord? You think that's acceptable with him?
No, sir. You
think your prayers going to get answered for that? We're going to find out something today. Mm-hmm. Matthew 6, and let's just pick it back up at verse 5, Rashad. Mm-hmm. Matthew 6, and we're going to pick it back up at verse 5. Because now we know what hypocrites are.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corner of the streets.
He said they love to do this.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
That they may be seen of men.
Uh-huh.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Yes, sir. But how a true servant supposed to pray? What verse 6 say?
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret.
See, that's the thing, brothers and sisters. You go to your cubby hole. You go to your secret place.
That's right.
Hey, if you ain't got a closet, hit the bathroom.
That's
if you
right.
ain't got a bathroom, you put a sheet over you in the bed.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Whatever your closet is, just get away from everybody else. Go ahead, brother.
And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
And your Father which see in secret gonna reward you open.
That's right. You
ain't got to get no whole group together. Hey, I'm going through something. Y'all want to come over here and pray with me? Can we have a prayer meeting? You don't have to do that, brothers and sisters. Hey, humble yourself, go in your closet and cry to your Father.
That's right, brother.
That's all you got to do. It say the Father in secret gonna reward you
openly. Yes, sir.
Let's look at something. Let's see if Jesus did it any different, brothers and sisters. Let's see if the Lord did it any different when he was in the flesh. Let's go to Luke chapter 22. Like we said earlier, keep in mind, this is a request you taking before the Lord. Luke chapter 22, we're going to pick it up at verse 39. Luke chapter 22, and we're going to pick it up at verse 39, brothers and sisters. Check this out. When you get there, Brother Rashad, keep feeding us. It's getting good.
And he came out and went, and he was wont to the Mount of Olives. And his disciples also followed him.
So they were all going to the Mount of Olives. The Lord and his disciples, they following him. Go ahead, brother.
And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Now this is what he said to his disciples. Hey, the same thing we should pray for. Pray that you enter not into temptation, brothers and sisters. But go ahead.
And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast.
Hey, so check out what just happened. All of a sudden, about as far as you could throw a rock, the Lord had got away from the disciples.
That's right.
So he away from them now. So what did he do when he got away from the disciples?
And he kneeled down and prayed.
He kneeled down and he prayed when he got away from his own disciples. That's when he prayed to the Father. He didn't tell us all to come together. He got away from them and prayed to him. He went to his secret place. This is what the Lord did, y'all, in the flesh. We need some more on that. Let's keep going. Let's go to Matthew 26. Let's look at this thing a little bit more. Same record, but let's go to Matthew 26. We're going to find out this is going to be the best way you can do it. Matthew 26, and we're going to pick it up at verse 36. Matthew 26, and we're going to pick it up at verse 36. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
Then cometh Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the disciples, Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder.
What did he tell them?
Sit ye here.
Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. Hey, I got to go do something. Y'all be here, I'll be right back.
Right.
That's what he did. Go ahead, brother.
37. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
And see, this is the thing, brother. So you got to even look at how the Lord was, how he was feeling during this time. He was sorrowful. He was very heavy. And a lot of times when you get like that, you want a support group. You need some shoulders to lean on. But look at what the Lord did. Keep reading, brother. Skip down for me and read verse 41.
Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Go ahead, brother.
He went away again the second time.
He went again away from them a second time. He done did this twice now. Twice. And what did he do?
And prayed.
And prayed again when he got away from them. Keep in mind, he's heavy right now.
That's right.
He's sorrowful right now. He hurting. But he knew, let me go in my closet.
That's right.
That's why I say, hey, sometimes you just got to put a sheet over your bed. Go ahead, brother.
Saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
And this is what he prayed to the Father on, brothers and sisters, in secret. And what did it say? The Father in secret going to reward you openly, don't we? We all know Jesus' payout, don't we?
Yes, sir.
We all know it.
That's right.
Hey, the disciples didn't hear him say this. They was away from him. This is written here for our example, brothers and sisters. So we got to keep mind of this. Hey, go in your closets. Let's look at a sister that did it. Let's go to 1 Samuel, the 1st chapter. And she didn't even go nowhere. You know the best place you could go and talk to the Lord? Right here. Right here. You ever been at work, hey, and something just tick you off and you like, oh, Lord, give me strength. Give me strength. Hey, you done went in your closet. Don't nobody know what you doing. They might think you got a headache or something, and you talking. You running your mouth to the Lord.
Facts.
We're going to 1 Samuel, the 1st chapter, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. We're going to read about Elkanah. That was Samuel's mother. 1 Samuel, the 1st chapter, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead, my brother.
Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim of Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephraitite.
Go ahead, brother. Good read.
And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah. The name of the other was Peninnah.
That's the sister, Hannah. This is what we're reading about. Go ahead, brother.
And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
Right, so Elkanah had two wives. One was barren and one wouldn't. Keep reading, brother, because the one that was barren, hey, she got vexed by the one that could have kids. Go ahead, brother.
3. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there.
So he was a man of God. He served the Lord. Skip down to verse 6, and what does it read?
And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb.
Hey, so this brother with these two wives, one was picking on the other one. This was going on. She vexing her. Look at what I got. Look, you can't have. She vexing her. Everybody done been through something where somebody vexed them. Go ahead, brother.
7. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her.
So every time they went to the house of the Lord, the other one was messing with her.
Wow.
I got my whole family. I got this. Whatever she was saying, she was vexing her.
Right.
Weakening her. Making her sorrowful. Go ahead.
Therefore she wept and did not eat.
Hey, have anybody ever had you like that? I know I've been there. Somebody would tell you, I ain't even hungry now. You done
away
messed
the whole
my mind
appetite.
up. Go ahead.
8. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou?
Uh-huh.
And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons?
Hey, her own husband can even understand her grief on this. Baby, why you crying? Ain't I better than 10 sons?
Right.
But she wanted a child.
Right.
And sometimes what you going through, can't nobody else relate to that. They trying to help you. They trying to do like, no, you ain't feeling me right now.
Yeah.
I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bruh. Skip down to verse 10, and what does it read?
She was in bitterness of soul and prayed.
Hey, you been there. Well, ain't nothing shaking your depression. Go ahead.
And prayed unto the Lord and wept sore.
She started praying to the Lord, and she was weeping. Now, peep out how she was praying. Keep reading, brother.
And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou will indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid and remember me.
And you see something else? I got to point this out.
Yes, sir.
Her affliction was mental.
Yes.
This sister wasn't doing nothing to her physical. She was affecting her mentally. Go ahead, bruh.
If thou will indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man-child.
Yes, sir.
Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life. And there shall no razor come upon his head.
Now, this was Hannah's prayer right here. This is what we reading. But look how it was conducted. What that next verse say?
And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth.
Hey, a priest of the Lord saw and marked her mouth. What's she doing? There was a reason why that. Keep reading.
Now Hannah, she spake in her heart.
She spoke where?
In her heart.
Everything y'all just read, she spoke in her heart. Go ahead.
Only her lips moved.
Only her lips moved. Have you ever done that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And folks like, what did you say? I'm not talking to you. You hit them with that. They like, who you talking to? I'm not talking to you.
Right.
I'm not talking to you. Go ahead.
Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard.
Her voice was not heard. She was in her closet, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken.
Oh, she crazy. She drunk. Too much wine today. Go ahead.
And Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee.
Hey, sister, you need to put that bottle down. That's what he told her. That is a priest now.
Right.
But go ahead, bro. What she say to him?
And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord. I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord.
Hey, that's what she was doing.
That's right.
She was pouring her heart out to God.
That's right.
Hey, her mouth was moving. Hey, but every voice, hey, didn't nobody hear that.
That's right.
She was giving the Lord her all. We got to learn this.
That's right, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
We done.
We done with that?
Yes,
Hey, and you know what the outcome of that was? Skip down to 21 for me. Skip down to 20 for me and read that. We got to read what the outcome of this was, because remember, your father in secret going to reward you openly. What do 20 say?
20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come, about after Hannah had conceived.
What?
She conceived.
She conceived. Now keep in mind, year after year she was being vexed. She was being afflicted. But the minute she went in that closet, look what the Lord did for
Lord
her.
Rewarded
Look
her.
what she got rewarded for it. And Samuel came. This is Samuel's story we read, brothers and sisters. And we know how Samuel got down.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel.
I called his name Samuel. So the Lord rewarded her for making her petition known. She made her request known to God, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and he tell you, hey, if you gonna ask him something, let you ask in faith. And he'll give it to you.
Nothing
She
wavering.
did this. And what did she tell Eli? I'm pouring out my heart to the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Let's look at something, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Psalms 51. Because, see, that's something else that people don't do no more. You making a request to the Lord and you ain't giving your all with your request. You're not pouring out all your affliction and everything on him. We missing sight of something. Because, see, people don't realize what Hannah just did was a sacrifice. What? What are you talking about, D-Barry? What are you talking about, a sacrifice? I ain't see no bulls, no goats, no nothing. You finna see what it is. Psalms 51, and we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Psalm 51 and verse 16. And when you get there, my brother, keep feeding us.
For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit.
Or what?
A broken spirit.
Hey, she was hurting, was she not, brothers and sisters?
So broken.
She was afflicted, it said. And she cried to her God in her affliction. Peep game.
Yes, sir.
That's what this is teaching you, because in one day or another, if it's not on you now, it's going to be on you one day. You're going to be hurting.
Yeah.
You're going to be afflicted. You're going to want some comfort from it. Give the Lord that prayer.
That's
be real with him.
That's right.
Come to him with it. Go ahead, brother. Pick that back up.
17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit.
Uh-huh.
A broken and a contrite heart. Oh God, thou wilt not despise.
Did y'all see that last part? It said, oh God, thou wilt not despise. He didn't despise Jesus. The Father didn't.
No,
hey,
didn't.
And the Lord didn't despise Hannah when she cried to him.
That's right.
What make you any different when you come at him right? This is what we got to learn to do, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Luke 18. Because see, this is how we got to come at the Lord. People want to come at the Lord all prideful and boastful, knowing you going through something, knowing you hurting. And we'll just, oh, Lord, bless me with this car. Oh, Lord, give me this house. You see, I want this house. Come on. Luke 18, brothers, so we're going to pick it up at verse 10. Luke 18, and we're going to pick it up at verse 10. We eating okay, brothers and sisters?
Yes, sir.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
18 and 10, what does it read, my brother?
2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican.
So 2 men went in, a Pharisee, which they knew the law, and a publican, a breaker of the law.
Right.
But look at how this finna play out. Keep reading.
The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself. God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are.
Yeah.
Extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican.
Even as the one next to me.
Wow.
Oh, Lord, I thank you. I'm just better than everybody else. I know your law. I know this. I ain't doing this.
Puffed up.
You can cash in on your, hey, the Lord said there ain't a man on earth. There ain't a righteous man on earth that ain't sin, brothers and sisters. Not a one.
Yes, sir.
And you going to come to the Lord like this? Lord, look at me now. Look at me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing that for you. Go ahead. What else did he say?
12. I fast twice in the week.
Uh-huh.
I give tithes of all that I possess.
I'm fasting twice a week. I'm paying my tithes on time. Go ahead.
And the publican, standing afar off.
Now, pay attention to what the publican going to do. Remember, the sacrifice of God is a broken and contrite spirit.
Yes, sir.
Now, we saw how the Pharisee, the one that knew something, how he handled it. Let's look how the publican going to handle it. Go ahead.
And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven.
Hey, he ain't even look up. Go ahead.
But smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner.
The publican was the one that kept it real, brothers and sisters.
Yes, he did.
Lord, have mercy. He couldn't even look up to the Lord. He just hit in his chest. Lord, have mercy on me. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He came at the Lord right. And what's the outcome of this? What the next verse say, bro?
I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other.
What?
Yes.
The Lord said this. You mean to tell me the publican that came at the Lord right is better than the one that knew the law and came at the Lord wrong?
Right, justified.
You got to be real, humble and contrite, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
He that humble himself shall be exalted. And see, that's the key thing, brothers and sisters. Humble yourself when you go before the Lord. Right. Don't go at the Lord with your chest all out.
That's right, brother.
Hey, we all done something punishable unto death.
Yes, sir.
And we gonna act like we just been righteous the whole time we've been on earth? You can't come at a king like that. Y'all ever see them movies? They go, Sire, please have mercy on me, your servant. It don't matter what they done did. They just asked for some grapes or some potatoes or something. Be merciful unto your servant, Lord.
Right.
But we come at the Lord just, come on, Jesus, it's me.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. Your righteous servant. I was at class today on the Sabbath day.
Right.
Come on, we can't do it like that, brothers and sisters. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 7. We do that. You get so comfortable with yourself.
Oh, man.
We get so prideful. Hey, the book say, hey, because sentence against an evil work ain't executed speedily,
Yes,
it said the
sir.
hearts of the Son of Men is set to do evil. Sometimes because the Lord don't check us right then, we just always think we straight. And you act like you straight all the time.
Presumptuous.
2 Chronicles chapter 7. Second Chronicles chapter 7, we're going to pick it up at verse 12. This is stuff that gets me. The Lord gave us so many outs, brothers and sisters, so many ways you can recoup yourself. Yeah. If man just paid attention to it. Everybody kicking against. The Lord gave us easy ways to salvation. We just kicking against. Even when it talks about coming to him, your prayers can be answered. If you come at them right, they will be answered. 2 Chronicles, brothers and sisters, chapter 7, pick it up at verse 12. Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice.
So, hey, Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord, and he made a request to the Lord. Any prayer, any supplication be made to this place, he has the Lord to hear from heaven and forgive. So now the Lord is weighing in on that prayer. He said, I heard you. Go ahead, brother.
If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people.
So in a nutshell, if he put problems on his people, if he put troubles on them, if he put diseases on them, if he put sicknesses on them, what else, brother?
If my people, which are called by my name.
If my people which are called by my name, what we call ourselves now is big, and it's big on social media now.
Israel.
We Israel. Everybody know it now.
Yes, sir.
So if my people which are called by my name,
Shall humble themselves.
first thing they got to do is humble themselves. Go ahead, brother.
And pray.
And pray, but you got to humble yourself before you can pray. You can't come at the Lord halted. Go ahead, brother.
And seek my face.
And seek my face. You got to go and get some understanding, brothers and sisters. You got to see, the Lord is telling you, if you a sinner right now, if you wrong right now, the Lord is telling you how to recoup. Humble yourself first. Pray. Seek my face, and then what's going to happen?
And turn from their wicked
And
ways.
stop doing what you doing. Everybody want to pray to the Lord and keep doing what they doing. You ain't going to get nothing. I'm telling you, you ain't. Go ahead, brother.
Then will I hear from heaven.
He said, then. He said this. He said, then I'm listening. When you do steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, now you have my attention.
Right.
But if you ain't doing that, I'm not listening to you. We're going to read this. Go ahead, brother.
Then will I hear from heaven.
And what else?
Will forgive their sin.
Whoa, what?
Yes.
Who don't want forgiveness?
Come on.
He just told you how you can get it. Out his own mouth, he told you what to do. Humble yourself. Pray. Seek my face. Turn from your wickedness. You got my attention. What you asking for? Forgiveness? Done. Sickness removed? Done. Pestilence? Gone. Poverty? Gone. All you got to do is do what I'm telling you to do. What's wrong with this 4-step program? Nothing. Nothing. What's wrong with this? When God tells you he'll do this for you, everybody seeks God for one reason alone, forgiveness. And he tells you how to get it and you won't do that? It's something wrong with that, brothers and sisters. It's something real wrong with that. We finished that, bro?
And will heal their land.
And will heal your land. God promised this. These ain't Solomon's words. This is Jesus' words you just read.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And it baffles me that everybody have a problem with this. I done told people, well, bro, stand up, face Jerusalem. Why? Because the Lord said his ear going to be attentive to this place. Oh, bro, man, you can pray anywhere. I understand, but why not take what the Lord said? That's what gets me. The Lord said this, not me. I'm flesh. I can lie to you. He can't. Why not do what he say, brothers and sisters? Let's go to Leviticus 26. You mean to tell me you'd rather keep a plague on you, keep a sickness on you, keep a problem on you, when God telling you how to get out of it? We just like walking into brick walls, don't we? Bloop, bloop. Don't edit that, Josh. Leviticus 26, brothers and sisters, we're going to pick it up at verse 40. Leviticus 26 and verse 4. He been messing with me all week, y'all. Sending me these little screenshots and stuff. I'm about to show them to y'all later. Leviticus 26, brothers, so we're going to pick it up at verse 40. Leviticus 26 and verse 40. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me.
So you hear what the Lord is telling his people to do? Yeah. Confess. Confess to him. Not to no man. They talking about him.
That's right.
I know it's a religion out there where you go into a little box and you confess everything to another flesh and blood man that's sinning just like you. But he said when his people come to him and confess their sins, that they have walked contrary and that the Lord didn't walk contrary with them. See, you got to realize what's going on in your life, brothers and sisters. Sometimes what's going on because we've been walking foul with the Lord. We've been walking contrary. We've been sinning. So this is what the humbling is all about, realizing you wrong. Ain't none of us right before God, brothers and sisters. So we got to come at him with enough humbleness to admit that. Lord, I'm coming at you as a sinner. I'm coming at you wrong. Hey, you didn't punish me for my sins, and I see it. You see what's on you. Go ahead, brother.
41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them. And have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Where we at?
The land of our enemies.
Go ahead.
If then their uncircumcised hearts be humble.
If then their uncircumcised hearts be humble, what's going to happen?
And they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
And you accept this happening to me because I was wrong. This happened to me because I was sinning. This how you got to come at the Lord, brothers and sisters. You keeping it real. You can't put no makeup on. You can't fix yourself up before the Lord and make him think you right. He know everything wrong with you. So be real. Go ahead, bruh.
42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. Will I remember? And I will remember the land.
And I will remember the land, but you got to do this first. He threw the then in on that verse, didn't he? He said, then I'm going to remember. Oh, I promised you something, didn't I? That's right. You threw me off with your sinning. You got my attention now. It's a reason why I'm saying that, bro, because sin throws us off.
It does.
Hey, it's like you lose your signal with the Lord. You know, you talking to somebody, hold on, bro, my signal going out. I done lost you. You do that. When you sin with the Lord, you lose him. Let's see why I say that, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Isaiah, the 1st chapter. I know it was a gospel singer. I ain't going to bust him out because he's jamming. But he got a song called A Sinner's Prayer. He's about around my age. And I listened to this song, and I'm like, a sinner's prayer? A sinner's prayer ain't heard?
All right.
What are you singing?
Right.
Change the same with a song, brother, because it's jamming, but I can't roll with the message. Y'all hear a song that's just jamming, but it's so left field. You're like, oh, man, I can't roll with that. Threw me off. You adding to and taking away. Change the station. Isaiah, the 1st chapter, we're going to pick it up at verse 3. Isaiah 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 3. Go ahead, my brother.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider.
Ooh-wee. Go ahead, brother. With that, Lord
Shots.
insulted us bad enough on that one. We're just going to keep it moving. He said, man, the ox know, every animal know what to do but us. He said, my people don't even consider. That means they're not even thinking, brothers and sisters. Go ahead, brother.
A sinful nation sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity,
Uh-huh.
a seed of evildoers,
A seed of evildoers. They say, well, we just bringing in evildoers? Go ahead.
children that are corrupters.
Uh-huh.
They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards.
So the Lord is saying this about his people, brothers and sisters. He said they have angered him. They have angered him with our iniquities, with our sins, with our evil works. Now keep reading, brother. Skip down for me and read verse 7.
Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devoured it in your presence.
In your presence. We watch this on the news, don't we? Go ahead.
And it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers.
Uh-huh. Now skip down for me and read verse 15. This is what the Lord has said about his people. He done told us how angry he is with us. Now let's get to this praying. Skip down to 15 for me, and what does it read?
And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you.
Woo, what? The Lord said, when you spread your hands, I'm doing you like this. Go ahead.
I will hide my eyes from you. Yea, when you make many prayers, I will not hear.
What? Hey, they say ain't a religious nation out here like black folks, like Israel. Wow. But the Lord say, hey, with your many prayers, I will not hear. Why, brother?
Your hands are full of blood.
Hey, you too wicked. Too much sin on you. Hey, and for people that got many prayers, he ain't listening to none of them.
Wow.
Because the sin on us, you done lost your signal. Your bandwidth done went out, as they say. You done lost your bandwidth. I think that's how they say it. Where we at, bro? 16.
Wash you. Make you clean.
Wash you, make you clean. Hey, don't y'all know even during the Levitical priesthood, the priests had to wash themselves first and ask for forgiveness before they could do work? What make us any different?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes.
Yes, sir.
Cease to do evil.
Cease to do evil. Ain't that what he told us in Chronicles? Humble yourself, turn from your wicked ways, seek my face. If you don't do that, your prayers ain't doing nothing for you. You are wasting your time and oxygen. Go ahead, bro. We done with that? Now let's go to Isaiah 59. See, don't nobody want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to transgressing God's laws. Don't nobody want to address the elephant in the room. People come to you with all their problems, everything going on in their life, all their despairs, and the minute you say, well, turn to the Lord, they don't want to hear that no more. But everybody but do something for me. Help me. Well, find the Lord. Get in your book. Stop doing that. Stop eating that pork. Oh, here you go. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to teach you what I learned, what got me out of my rut. This ain't nothing somebody just making up. And people just discredit it. Every time you bring the Lord, here you go. Because see, they don't realize the Lord said what we about to read right here. That's why I love that I love to hear my God talk cash money to us. Because we need it. We need it, brothers and sisters. Isaiah 59, pick it up at verse 1. What does it read, brother?
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save.
Uh-huh.
Neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
Uh-huh. For all the ones saying the Lord ain't hearing us, the Lord ain't helping us, he ain't got little arms and he ain't got baby ears. Go ahead.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your God.
That's what did it. That's why he ain't listening to your prayer. That's why he not helping you. Because you are wrong, because you a sinner. Let's dress the elephant in the room for a change. God ain't going to be there for you if you ain't walking in his ways. What person going to do that for you? What person can you cross your whole life and think they're going to be there for you? But you get to cross Jesus, and all we want to say is, have mercy on me, Lord. Do this. He wants you to do something first. Walk in my ways. Go ahead, brother.
Me too. And your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
That's why he won't hear. Sin's in the way. Go ahead, brother.
None calleth for justice.
Uh-huh.
Nor any pleadeth for truth.
Go ahead.
They
Did you
trust
read verse 3?
They trust in
Did you
vanity.
read verse 3? Your hands are defiled with blood, your fingers with iniquity.
3, for your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue hath muttered perverseness.
This everything everybody doing. This is what's disrupting your communication with God. Your lies, that's messing you up. Hey, we defile with blood, the sin and everything that's on us. Hey, your tongue and mutter perverseness. All this is keeping our signal with God, our request. It's got interference in it. Go ahead, brother.
4, none calleth for justice.
Hey, ain't nobody talking about the truth. Go ahead.
Nor any pleadeth for truth.
Hey, ain't nobody. That's why I said when you tell somebody to turn to God, they don't want to hear that no more. Don't nobody want to do that. I went to church. You took me last week with you. I'm still good. You didn't turn. Go ahead, brother.
They trust in vanity and speak lies.
Hey, they trust in vanity. Well, you know, if I get this other job, I'm going to fix it anyway, so I ain't got to turn to the Lord. You know, if I do this, I'll be straight. Everybody got a plan B, and plan B still fail for you. Go ahead.
They conceive mischief.
Well, you know, if I do this little side hustle, if I pick this up, everybody try to get out of everything but going through God. We've been there. Your money short. Okay, well, maybe if I go back in the streets and do this. Okay, well, your relationship problem, well, maybe if I go dip off and do this. Everybody got their own way of doing something to get out of their funk, get out of their trouble, but God. Go ahead, bruh.
They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity.
They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Well, you know, old boy got them stolen TVs down there. Maybe I'll holler at him and sell some TVs with him. You just come up with everything but God.
Right.
How easy would it be just to go to God and he just help you? Hey, I read in a book where the Lord talks about with the righteous, he said before you even finish your request, he going to let it happen for you. Who don't want that? Just like, Lord, give me done. Who don't want that? Where we at, bruh? Skip down to verse 7, and what does it read?
Their feet run to evil.
That's what everybody do. We run to evil. Go ahead.
And they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity.
These are all the things keeping us from getting our prayers answered. Your own thoughts messing it up for you. You mean tell me you're going to think something wicked, then you're going to turn around and pray to the Lord? That ain't going to happen.
Work like that.
Go ahead, bruh.
Wasting and destruction are in their path. The way of peace they know not.
The way of peace they know not. This is the way of peace. Go ahead.
The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their going.
Hey, there's no right and wrong in what they doing no more. Look at the world we in now, y'all. Everything based on everybody's own opinion. I do this because I felt like this. I made this choice because I feel like this. Nothing that's read, all feelings. Go ahead, brother.
They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Shall not know peace. Have you ever been in a situation where everything you try to do to get yourself out of it makes it worse for you? Until finally you just lay your hands down.
Right. You got no choice.
You know, that's normally when we turn to the Lord, when he's the last resort. I done tried this, and this. Then I did this, and this. Ain't nothing. I give up. Lord help me. That's when we come to him last.
Teach the book, bro.
When you done gave up, you humbled in. Ain't nothing else work. You crying, you right where he needs you to be. When we should have been there on the front end. That's all it would have took.
Teach, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
9. Therefore is judgment far from us. Neither doth justice overtake us. We wait for light.
We wait for the light at the end of that tunnel. But what happened?
But behold obscurity.
It get darker. Go ahead.
For brightness, but we walk in darkness.
But we walk in darkness. Why? Because we still walking in our transgressions, brothers and sisters. Go ahead, bro.
We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night.
Hey, like we always lost. Whatever situation you're in, like we confused. How I'm going to get out of this one? How I'm going to make it out of that one? How I'm going to survive this one? How I get myself in this? Everything. Go ahead, bro.
We are in desolate places as dead men.
Go ahead, verse 11.
We were all like bears.
Don't we all got something? Sometimes you just, Like I tried to get out of this and now I got hit with this. Y'all ever get them bills that catch you slipping? What is this? I got to pay this too? You just roar. Hey, because you ain't walking right. Hey, the Lord ain't taking care of things for you. So as soon as you get there, you roaring like the bear. What's wrong? I got this new deal. Go ahead, bro.
We roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves.
And mourn sore like doves. Well, that Prince said that, didn't it? When doves cry. That's us. Go ahead, bro.
We look for judgment, but there is none.
Hey, and we always looking for the answer. We always looking for the way, but we never find it if we ain't walking right. If you ain't humble, if you ain't trying to be sincere with God, you ain't going to find the answer. Go ahead, bro.
For salvation, but it is far off from us.
And we always looking for some salvation. How long has this people been looking for some salvation, for some peace? And the minute God come up, we want to talk about somebody else. Well, the Lord sent us Martin Luther King. Well, the Lord sent us Malcolm X. No, the Lord wants you to realize you was wrong. That's right. The Lord wants you to realize you've been walking contrary with his law. You ain't keeping the Sabbath. You ain't keeping his feast day. You ain't walking in the law. That's why you have what's going on with you. And that's why you ain't got nobody to save you. Because the Lord say you got to realize you wrong. Go ahead, bro.
12. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee.
That's it. That's the problem. That is the problem. Go ahead.
And our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us.
That's the thing. We mean to tell we're going to walk with the Lord with this baggage on us? Look at me, Lord. I'm an adulteress. Look at me. I'm a thief. I'm a murderer. Help me. I ain't finna change none of it. I ain't letting none of it go. Just be there for me because you merciful God. No, it's a spot for the sinner. We read that in Revelation. Whosoever loveth and make it a lie, the whoremonger, the adulterer, all them gonna be in the lake of fire. So what makes you think that the Lord gonna hear you? And you bringing something to him that's only supposed to be casted in the fire anyway. And you think he gonna hear that? Where we at, bruh?
We're at the end of 12.
Go ahead.
And as for our iniquities, we know them.
Yes, we do. That's the thing. Hey, everybody that's wrong know they wrong. They know them. You can try to sugarcoat it. You can try to put mascara on it, whatever. Wrong is wrong, and you know you're wrong. And you mean to tell me you're going to come to the Lord and try to hide your wrong? That's why he say, humble yourself. You know what you done. You know what you're doing. Come to him right. Hey, we all had that prayer. You ever went to your mama? Mama, can you, boy, what you do? I ain't do nothing. You lying. Mama knew. So you had to come at mama right. Well, I stole that candy bar. Go get the belt. But but the whooping was a little merciful because I told her the truth. Yeah. Hey, you got to do the Lord like that. Lord, I was wrong. I messed up. Right. Come at them right, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 11. Jeremiah chapter 11, we're going to pick it up at verse 7. Jeremiah 11, we're going to pick it up at verse 7. When I read this, I was like, ooh, that is cold. Again, this coming out of the mouth of the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 11, we're going to pick it up at verse 7. You ever try to ask somebody for something and then they tell you everything you did wrong to them? Why are you going to ask me for this? You did this to me. You hurt my feelings when you did this. You did that. I did this for you. You didn't do this. And you be like, oh, I'm sorry. You right. You just bag on up. Check out how the Lord finna say this about us. Jeremiah chapter 11, pick it up at verse 7. What does it read, brother?
For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt unto this day.
Unto this day. Go ahead.
Rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice.
Hey, the Lord say, hey, I've been telling you since your forefathers to now, obey my voice. I've been telling you this. Go ahead.
Yet they obeyed not.
Yet you didn't listen. Go ahead.
Nor incline thine ear.
Their
ear. But walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart.
Hey, I told you to do what I told you to do, and everybody won't do their own thing. This Father talking to us. This Daddy Jesus talking to his kids right here. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do. But they did them not.
Hey, they did them not. Every word, every commandment, every instruction I gave you to obey me, you refused to do it. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
There's a controversy between the Lord and his people. Go ahead, bro.
They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refuse to hear my word.
Hey, this has always been the problem from generation to generation. Don't nobody want to hear the word of the Lord. Everybody want the Lord's benefits. Everybody want the Lord to be there for them. But when it come to obeying his words, don't nobody want to do that. Go ahead, bro.
And they went after other gods.
But we'll pick up something else. Buddha, where you at? Allah, where you at? Hindu God, where you at? We pick up everything but the true and living. Go ahead, bro.
And they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers.
So the whole house done broke it. The Lord said, all my kids breaking the law. Go ahead, brother.
11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape.
Yes, sir.
And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them.
Hey, what nation of people you know seem like they didn't went through the most, just history-wise, other than Israel? To this day, we still hurting. To this day, we still affected by slavery, poverty, and everything we went through because the Lord done put it on us. Man ain't that smart to put something on you that's going to last this long. Not even the Gentile.
Not even the Gentile.
Go ahead, bro.
12. Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense.
Hey, ain't that what they doing now? Go ahead.
But they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble.
At all in the time of their trouble. Hey, they just talking. Go ahead, brother. Where we at? Skip down, read 13. Oh, keep reading.
For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods.
Hey, ain't it a church on every corner?
That's right.
It baffles me how we can have more churches in the ghetto and liquor stores, but the most problems. I don't see the Gentiles got one big cathedral, one church, maybe 5 or 6 neighborhoods come to it. We got a church in every neighborhood, and we got the most problems.
The most problems.
How is that?
Oh, Judah.
Oh, Judah doing this. Because it's not to the true and living, brothers and sisters.
That's what it is.
Go ahead, bro.
And according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing.
Ain't we did it, though? Yeah. Ain't we? Go ahead.
Even altars to burn incense unto Baal.
Hey, the God of prosperity is what Baal was. Interesting.
Wow.
That's a big doctrine now.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, brother.
14. Therefore pray not thou for this people.
Whoa. God said this.
Wow.
I want y'all to know that. This is not Jeremiah. Matter of fact, can we read 11 and 1 just so we know who's narrating this conversation?
Sure. The word that came to Jeremiah.
From who?
The Lord.
Thank you. Saying. Don't it end with that?
Saying. Hear
this
you.
is God talking, brothers and sisters. So read that verse we just read again. 14.
Therefore pray not thou for this people.
Woo.
Neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. For I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble.
Why? And it's justified, brothers and sisters. He said, I've been rising up early telling you to obey my voice. And you didn't want to do that? Now you want to cry to me?
Wow.
That's fair. Don't say the ways of the Lord are unequal. Right. This is fair. Wow. This how it's supposed to be. You don't want to walk in God's words and you think he's going to be there for you? He telling you he ain't going to be there for him. He even told the prophet, don't pray for them. Right. Don't lift up a cry for them. I'm not listening. That's something we got to learn, brothers and sisters. Hey, you can take it too far with breaking these laws. You would take it too far with the Lord. Hey, he don't even want the righteous to pray for him. That's saying a whole lot. That's saying a whole lot. Where we at, bro?
We at 15.
Go ahead.
What hath my beloved to do in mine house?
Hey, what you got to do with me? Hey, we do that. Somebody come at you out the blue that then crossed you. Hey, bruh, let me borrow $5. Man, what you asking me for $5 for? The way you came at me last week. What you got to do with me? Lord say, hey, what she got to do in my house? Go ahead, bro. Pick that back up.
What hath my beloved to do in mine house?
Uh-huh.
Seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many.
Hey, you sleeping with everybody. Let your spouse do you like that and then come home late at night after having a wild night out. Baby, open the door. Open the door for what? For what?
With many.
You didn't go sleep with that one. Go ask that one for $20. Go pray to that one. That's what the Lord's saying. This is fair, y'all. This is fair. Go ahead, bruh.
And the holy flesh is passed from thee.
Hey, you ain't holy no more. Holy means you stay right. That's what that is. The Lord say, be ye holy because I am holy. Go ahead, bruh.
When thou doest evil, then thou
Hey,
rejoicest.
and you happy when you wrong. Hey, and you will get out there and it'll be like that on you.
Hard facts.
Hey, we say all the time, when we was out there sinning, we was having fun. But at the same time, the Lord wasn't listening neither. Double-edged sword.
Yes, sir.
Double-edged sword,
Yes,
brothers and
sir.
sisters. Let's keep going. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 7. Back it up to chapter 7. See, don't nobody want to read when the Lord say that to us.
Yeah, nobody ain't reading that.
Not the everlasting, merciful God.
Yeah, sweet Jesus.
Not sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus
Same
said
sweet
this.
Jesus. Straight up sword.
Yeah. Jeremiah chapter 7, we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Hey, just like good times. Sweet daddy, hey, he'll cut you up too, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he will.
Anybody know about good times? Hey, when sweet daddy walk in the room, hey, JJ them got right, didn't they? Wasn't sweet no more. Don't edit that, Josh. I see the look on your face. I'm going to get a picture later on. Jeremiah chapter 7, bro, so we're going to pick it up at verse 16. I enjoy this book, brothers and sisters. I enjoy it with y'all.
Praise the Lord. Sir. Yes, sir.
We get to see how our Lord operate, and it's real life to us, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Jeremiah chapter 7, we're going to pick it up at verse 16. What does it read, brother?
Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me.
He said, don't even make intercession to me. Don't talk to me about them. Don't say nothing about them. Boy, hey, we done did that too. You try to come to somebody else, hey, Rashad, let me tell you about Caleb. Oh, don't talk to me about Caleb. He crossed me. Right. Don't bring him up. Don't say C to me. Go ahead, bro. Don't even say the first initial.
Don't say C.
Don't even say the first initial.
Name.
Go ahead.
For I will not hear thee.
I ain't listening to you. Hey, and he telling the righteous servant this now. Yeah. This was getting me. He telling the one that's walking, don't you pray for that. Yeah. Don't you pray for that. Go ahead, bro. 17.
Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets?
Do you see what they doing? This is what the Lord said. He said, don't pray for them. Do you see what they doing right now in the streets? Go ahead, bro.
Of Jerusalem?
What do they do?
The children gather wood.
Uh-huh.
And the fathers kindle the fire. And the women knead their dough.
Yes, sir.
To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
Uh-huh. What they doing this month? Look what they doing just this month.
Shots.
Go ahead, bro.
To the Queen of Heaven.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger.
In a nutshell, they ticking them off. They doing this month.
Teach that book, bro.
Don't pray for that.
Yes, sir.
Don't pray for that. Get away. Trouble. You know, sometimes you got bag away. You know when somebody finna get that whooping, you just make sure it don't hit you.
Right. It might be coming on sight. Yes, sir.
I got one coming. Where we at, Rashad?
19.
Go ahead.
Do they provoke me to anger?
See, this is what the Lord is saying. He's saying, don't y'all know this is making me mad? Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces?
Hey, and they put this on themselves. Israel all confused. What's going on here? You did it to you. Because you turned from God. You don't know what's going on in your life because you wrong. That's what it is.
Hard facts.
Hard facts, brothers and sisters. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 15. Let's look at an example of this. Let's look how the Lord treated our first king now. Our first king. Old Saul. Old Saul. Saul was a real you-know-what when you read about him. That's all I can say to anybody that understands what I'm saying. Praise the Lord.
Real Israelites.
He was one. When I said, oh, yeah, that's a black man right there. That's a black man right there.
Nice way of saying it.
1 Samuel 15, we're going to pick it up at verse 23.
Yes, sir.
1 Samuel 15, we're going to pick it up at verse 23. When you get there, my brother, a few pages. Okay, go right ahead, my brother.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
It ain't no different. Breaking the law and practicing voodoo in the same box.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
So Saul got fired because he rejected the word of the Lord. That's how he lost his office. Now go ahead, bro. What 24 say? Check this out.
And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned. For I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
So he admitted to what he had did wrong.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but Saul never kicked it. He never changed. Keep reading, brother. What are you going to ask Samuel to do?
Now, therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord.
Forgive me, brother, and let's go back to the Lord. Pardon my sin so I go back to the Lord. What's Samuel going to say? This the righteous man now. What's Samuel going to say to him?
And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee.
What? I ain't going. Why he ain't going?
For thou hast rejected the word of the Lord.
See, it becomes something different when somebody's been given the word and they reject it, brother.
Yes,
you in a different ball game with the Lord now. You in a different ball game now. You done heard the word and you rejected it? Nah, I ain't rolling with you. I ain't rolling with you. Go ahead.
And the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel.
And that's how it play out. Hey, even in the law, the Lord said, if you walk contrary to me, I'm going to walk contrary to you. And when he walking contrary with a person, what you praying to him for?
Teach, brother.
They done ran afoul with the Lord. They done crossed them. The Lord ain't hearing that. Where we at, bruh? We finished that? Now go right to chapter 16 and let's read verse 1. Because I love that the Lord said this. Hey, because sometimes you can just cry for a wicked person. Lord, give him strength. Lord, be there for him. Lord, give him understanding. Lord, have mercy on him. And the Lord said something right here. Again, he about to say something. 16:1, what does it read, brother?
And the Lord said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul? Saying, I have rejected him.
Man, how long you gonna cry for dude? I rejected him. He rejected my word. I'm through with him. Why are you crying for him? Go ahead.
Saying, I have rejected him from reigning over Israel. Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite.
Yes, sir.
For I have provided me a king amongst his sons.
Stop crying and go and do your job. I done already got another one. I'm through with him. The Lord was through with Saul. Keep in mind, he let him stay in that office. He transgressed in his second year. The Lord let him stay in there until David got up. It was 40 years after all this.
Right.
You a seat filler. I'm through with you. I already got my next king. When the Lord through with a person for transgressing, he through with them. That's why it's important, brother. So you got to humble you got to get the Lord's attention. Because while we walking as sinners, you really are a dead man. You like Cain was out here. The Lord ain't for you. You got to humble yourself just to get his attention again.
Just to get his attention.
Just to get his attention again. Let's go to Hebrews 11, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir. Man.
Hebrews 11. And we're going to read one verse, verse 6. Because this is something else we lose sight of. You praying to the Lord and you got all this doubt and stuff in you. Like you guessing with the Lord. You don't know if he's going to be there for you or you don't. You just threw it in there, whatever happened, happened.
Man.
Can't do that either.
Nah, I can't do it like that.
Can't do it like that. Hebrews 11, we're going to read one verse, verse 6. Hebrews 11 and verse 6. Go ahead, my brother. What does it read?
But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
It is ain't nothing impossible with God. But when it's involving us, if you don't have faith, it's impossible to please him. It's not going to happen. Go ahead, bro.
For he that cometh to God must believe that he is.
He that come to God must believe he is what? Everything.
Yeah.
Everything, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
You can't come to the Lord and you doubting if he going to do something for you.
He is.
You got to know he can do it for you.
That's right, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
And you got to know that.
Yes, sir.
See, that's the part we lose sight of because a lot of people ain't diligently seeking the Lord.
Boy, you better teach that, boy.
Hey, you got to come to the Lord knowing, hey, he'll reward me if I do what he told me he's going to do. And if I ask him and I believe he's going to do it, it's going to be done.
That's right. That's right.
You dealing with the true and living God,
That's right,
not the tooth fairy.
Yes, sir.
This is
You better
real.
teach, bro.
It's the creator and maker of it all.
Yes, sir.
For real, for real. Let's go to James, the first chapter, brothers and sisters.
Facts. Yes, sir.
People come to, well, Lord, I'm nervous.
No.
I don't know if you hear me or not. I'm not sure. Are you listening? I don't know. You doubting everything.
Yeah.
You killed your whole prayer.
Double-minded.
Double-minded all through it. I don't know if you hear me or not. Maybe because we ain't cleaned ourselves up. That's what we ain't looking at. Yeah. We ain't cleaned ourselves up enough, so we got the doubt.
Right.
I know I'm wrong. Asking for something. And you know when you're wrong and you ask for something. I shouldn't even ask for this. I shouldn't even ask for this.
Ooh, man.
James chapter 1, let's pick it up at verse 6. James 1 and verse 6. What does it read, my brother?
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering.
Go ahead, brother.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
True. And look at brothers and sisters, have you ever prayed to the Lord, you asked the Lord for something, but because you got doubt in you, you will still try to handle it your own way? You will even say, I'm going to leave it in your hands, Lord.
And
Let me go and just try one
right.
more thing.
And don't. And
Let me try one more thing. Okay, Lord, I'm going to leave it in your hands for real this time. You would say that to and then you be like, let me do this one more time. No, that didn't work. Okay, Lord, I'm for real. Woo. My hands tied. You would do that. Woo. You like a wave of a sea. You like this. You tossing and turning. You all in your bed contemplating stuff. You say you're going to leave it in the Lord's hands. You still thinking what you need to do. Take your hand off the steering wheel, brother.
Yes, sir.
Have some faith.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
7. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
See, that's what you got to remember. If you doubting, you ain't finna get answered. You ain't. Why?
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and he lacks faith.
Yes.
He don't believe God is who he is.
Yes.
How you going to ask the Lord to do something for you, and then you still going to double back and try to do it for yourself? Think about that. Just think about that. What sense do that make? What disrespect is that? That's disrespectful. God, I know you can fix it, but just in case you can't, let me try this.
But that's the problem.
You done threw that butt in and you done killed it. You done killed it, brothers and sisters. We finished that, Rashad?
Yeah, we finished
Let's go to Daniel chapter 2. Look at how these brothers prayed, how we finna read this.
Clean us up, brother.
Daniel chapter 2, we're going to pick it up at verse 19. Daniel chapter 2, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Thank you, I got it in there. Daniel chapter 2, verse 1. Thank you, Rashad. Be your brother's keeper. Daniel chapter 2, we're going to pick it up at verse 1. When you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
And in the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him.
So he had a nightmare in a nutshell.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king.
So, hey, he wanted to figure out what was going on with this nightmare. Go ahead, brother.
And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream.
Hey, and we didn't had that before.
Yeah.
You done woke up about it. Man, what did that mean?
What was that?
Ooh. You want to go back to sleep so you can finish it. Like, what happened?
Not good.
What that mean? You puzzled all day. Go ahead. I know I ain't the only one. Skip down to verse 7 for me, brother. What does it read?
They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of
Hey,
it.
so all these wise soothsayers that tell us what the dream was, king, and we'll tell you what happened. Go ahead.
The king answered and said, I know of certainty that ye would gain the time.
Oh, you stalling.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because ye see the thing is gone from me.
Because you know I don't remember a dream. Hey, we wake up out of a dream. You can't remember what happened. It just shook you. Man, it was something about I was falling, then next thing you know, I was at the house. You know, you be all over the place with your dream. But it just rocked you. Go ahead, bruh.
9. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you. For ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me.
He said, if you can't get this dream right, you done showed me you've been lying the whole time. Go ahead.
Till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can show me the interpretation thereof.
Hey, boy, Nebuchadnezzar, he laid something heavy on
checked him.
You got to tell me the dream and what it meant. I ain't saying nothing.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bruh. Skip down to 12 for me, and what does it read?
For this cause the king was angry and very furious.
Because they couldn't figure it out. Hey, they even told the king, they said, man, can't nobody do this for you except for the gods. They were talking about they gods. They said, man, can't nobody do this. Go ahead.
And commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon.
So he said, you know what? Kill them all. I'm around all these phonies, kill every last one of them. Go ahead, brother.
And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain.
Hey, they went and got Israel first. They always put us on the front lines, y'all. Oh, well, some folks getting killed? Well, you know Israel.
Don't get Israel out the way.
Go ahead.
14. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard.
Yes, sir.
Which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king?
Hey, why did this happen so fast? He ready to kill all of us that quick? What did y'all do? Go ahead.
Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time and that he would show the king the interpretation.
Hey, so Daniel them asked for time. Keep in mind, it said that if a man come to God, let him first believe that he is, right?
Yes, sir.
Keep reading, brother.
17. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions.
So he went and told his companions, other righteous men. Go ahead, brothers and sisters.
That they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret. That Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon.
So Daniel went and got his boys and told them what happened, and they all went and what they do is say they went and desired mercies of God.
Yes.
That's praying. That's
it.
what we do.
Yeah.
Him, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, all of them asking for mercies for God. Now, keep your marker here because I want to show y'all how important this was too. Let's go to James real quick, the 5th chapter. Keep your marker here. We're coming right back. We're going to James 5, and we're going to read one verse, verse 16. Because what these 4 brothers just did, brothers and sisters, is power beyond we can imagine sometimes. It sounded so simple. Praying before God, being righteous men, asking the Lord for mercies. But that's something key. That's something very key. James 5, we're going to read one verse, verse 16. 5 and 16. When you get there, brother, go right ahead.
Confess your faults one to another and pray one for another, that ye may be healed.
That you may be what?
Healed.
Go ahead.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Hey, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man, availeth much.
That's right, brother.
Hey, I used to have people get a problem with, it's a saying I used to always say, let the prayers of the righteous be heard.
Yeah.
And a sister asked me, well, why do you always say that? I said, because those are the only ones the Lord listened to.
Facts.
So I need them to come in, and I know they coming out right. So let the prayers, so, hey, Daniel, hey, and his companions, they prayed to the Lord. They asked the Lord for mercies. Righteous men did. Now let's go back to that Daniel 2.
That's right, bro.
Because when you write, you can ask the Lord for anything. Hey, Nebuchadnezzar weighed something on the table that the normal man would say impossible. I can't tell you what you dreamed. But watch how Daniel didn't finna handle this. We finna pick this up at verse 19 now. Daniel 2 and 19. These righteous brothers prayed. What happened in 19?
Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision.
Uh-huh.
Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven.
He blessed who?
The God of
and
heaven.
The thing was revealed to him. The Lord put the same dream that was in Nebuchadnezzar's head and transferred it straight into Daniel's. Here you go, what happened. Gave him a movie. Go ahead, brother.
20. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his.
Hey, a man that come to God must first believe he is, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Daniel knew that. Wisdom and understanding come from God. So whatever I need to know, I can get it from him.
That's right.
If you believe that.
That's right.
But Daniel didn't believe that. Oh, I know where I can get the answer from. Without a shadow of a doubt. Go ahead.
And he changed the times and the seasons.
Uh-huh.
He removeth kings and setteth up kings.
Uh-huh.
He giveth wisdom unto the wise.
Yes, sir. Daniel is acknowledging God for everything God is, brothers and
Yes,
sisters.
sir.
This is how you come at him. This is a brother that don't have no doubt in who he's talking to. Go ahead, brother.
And knowledge to them that know understanding.
Yes, sir. Knowledge to them that what?
That know.
That know understand. The righteous.
Yes.
Go ahead.
He revealeth the deep and secret things.
Yes, sir. You want to know something? Ask your God.
That's right.
Go ahead.
He knoweth what is in the darkness.
Yes, sir.
And the light dwelleth with him.
And the light dwelleth with him.
That's right.
They always reflect light as when you getting answers.
Yes.
Even in cartoons, don't you see the
Yes.
bing, light bulb go off
Yes.
on somebody's head?
Right above it.
That comes from the Lord. All your light, all your understanding coming from him. So you ain't got to be in the dark on nothing if you stay right. In your life, whatever. Man, what's going on with this house? What's going on with these bills? What's going on with this job? He'll give you all that if you right. Go ahead, brother.
I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers,
Uh-huh.
who has given me wisdom and might.
Yes, sir.
And has made known unto me now what we desired of thee.
Yes, sir.
For thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter.
Yes, sir. And you see the key thing he did when the
Yes,
Lord was
sir.
there for him?
Yes,
He
sir.
gave him praise.
Yes,
He
he
gave him recognition. He acknowledged God for who he is. This is what we got to do too. It's a lot of times the Lord will do something for you and you just praise the Lord and you go on about your business. But did you praise him for actually opening a door for you that was shut? Did you praise him for getting you on your sick bed when everybody told you there wasn't no help for you?
Yes, sir.
You got to acknowledge God for killing all the gainsayers and everything for you.
Praise God.
We've been in impossible situations that everybody got a story. I say this all the time. Everybody got a story that they can say, I wouldn't have got out of it if it wasn't for God.
Yes, sir.
And you ain't going to acknowledge him for that
Yes, sir.
every time?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bruh. Skip down to 27 and what does it read?
Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise man, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king.
Hey, and this was something else he did that we got to learn. Hey, he said, look, the answer, man couldn't give you this. Hey, he didn't even take the credit for this. This is something we got to learn to do. A lot of us ain't where we at because of us. Matter of fact, ain't none of y'all where you at because of you.
Come on.
Finish that, bruh.
But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king
He gave it
Nebuchadnezzar.
all back to God. That's what we got to learn to do. A lot of people watching us, brothers and sisters, they know your testimony. They know your walk. They know where you came from and where you at now. Give God that praise when you talk to folks.
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro, you used to be out on the streets. You used to do whoop-de-whoop-de-with this with me. You used to do this. You used to do that. What happened? I found a true and living God.
Yes,
I found
sir.
his ways. He got me out of that rut. Give it back to him. Don't say you did nothing because you didn't. He made it possible for you. Go ahead, bruh.
And maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days.
Yes, sir.
Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these.
Hey, he got to telling it to him.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and we know the outcome of this story. Daniel got a promotion out of this.
He did.
Matter of fact, laws were set up. Ain't nobody serving no other God but his.
Right.
What if we move like this? Do y'all imagine, you talk about putting God, the true and living God, on social media. You imagine if we start walking the right way, how much attention God will really get? Not trying to make Israel the big thing, make God the big thing. You imagine? You imagine the nations, the people, everybody that will gravitate to us when we act right?
Yes, sir.
When we acknowledge him. That's always been Israel's biggest problem. We've always known who we are, but we never acknowledge him.
That's right.
Hands down. Where we at, bruh? We done with that? Let's go to James, the 5th chapter. I'm sorry, St. John 15. St. John 15, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
All the glory go to him.
All of it.
Glory don't go to no identity.
That's right, bro.
Glory go to your God
That's
for
right.
giving you his name.
Right. Didn't have
Don't nobody want to address that elephant in the room. This is God's name.
Right.
We didn't come up on this on our own. St. John 15, let's pick it up at verse 7. St. John 15, and we're going to pick it up at verse 7. When you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you.
Key word right there. If you abide in me and my words abide in you. Go ahead.
Ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
And he said this.
Yes.
He said this. Why? It baffles me. Until I got into the truth, I never knew that verse was in there. Especially him saying, your words abide in me. People used to tell me, bro, boy, just go pray over it. But the Lord said, hey, you got to have my words in you. And I do. It's the only way you get access to this. Skip down for me, brother, and read verse 10, and what does it say?
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
Yes, sir.
Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Hey, and that's the thing.
Yes,
everybody
sir.
wants some love from God. Everybody wants the Lord to be their personal savior, be close to him. He telling you how. Keep my commandments.
That's right.
He telling you how you get your prayers answered. Keep my commandments.
Yes, sir.
He ain't deviated from it yet. What he tells Jeremiah, I've been rising up early to know obey my voice. It all makes sense now why the Lord, it gets to a point where the Lord says, don't pray for him. It all makes sense now. Let's keep going. Let's go back it up to chapter 14. Let's pick it up at verse 15. St. John 14, we're going to pick it up at verse 15. This is what everybody lose sight of, but everybody want to pray. Everybody want to come to the Lord. Everybody wants some comfort, but you don't want to get it the way he told you to get it.
Teach that.
Pick it up, bro. Go ahead. St. John 14 and 15. What does it read?
If ye love me, keep my
And
commandments.
he keep throwing that if in there. That
Yes, he
small
did.
little word got magnitude.
Yes, sir.
If
Yes, sir.
you love me, keep my commandments.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter.
Yes, sir.
That he may abide with you forever.
And see, this is the thing. Who don't want comfort from God? He tells you how to get it. And you can't skip over what we just read in 15. You got to keep the commandments. For your pain, for our lack of understanding, for our confusion, whatever it is, you got to get, in order to get some relief from it, you got to keep this law. It's life in this. Hey, and that's the thing we don't realize. It is life in this. Not everlasting life then. You can have life right now. God lead and guide you with his law. God is there for you if you keep this law. He removing things. He hearing your prayers, all if you keep the law.
That's right, bro.
And it's nailed to the cross? We're going to let somebody tell us that? They blocking the blessings.
Yep. That's what's
They
happening.
blocking the prayers being heard.
That's right.
Everything we read so far, God said this. God said it's your sins that's keeping your prayers from being heard. He's saying, and we're going to let man deceive us from getting access from God? Come on now. Where we at, bruh?
17.
Go ahead.
Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not.
And you know why I see him not? Because it ain't keeping the commandments.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Neither knoweth him, but ye know him. For he dwelleth with you and shall be in you.
Uh-huh. And what 18 say?
I will not leave you comfortless.
This is to the ones keeping the commandments now.
Yes,
The
sir.
Lord ain't going to leave you in no situation where he is without you.
Praise
you
God.
without him. He said, he said this, I will not leave you comfortless.
I will come to you.
I'm coming to you. I will come to you. And you mean to tell me we don't want this?
Praise God.
Everybody that read that little verse want that.
Yeah, praise God.
Everybody do. And he told us how. Keep the commandments. In a nutshell, he told you, show him some love. That's what we want. The ones that your loved ones is the ones you do the most for. You love them. It's a relationship there. We gonna act like he ain't got one with us?
Teach that,
That
bro.
don't make sense. Where we at, bruh?
We done with that.
Romans 8. Praise the Lord, sister. Eating good, steak and potatoes. Romans 8. We're going to pick it up at verse 26. And see, that's why staying in this law, brothers, staying in God's love is so important, because a lot of times you don't know what to pray for. You don't know what to say before the Lord. Your mind running, you trying to come at it right and everything else, you don't know what to say. You need somebody to clean that up for you. Check out what we're about to read. Romans 8, we're going to pick it up at verse 26. 8 and 26, what does it read, brother?
Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
Uh-huh. See, this talking about the Lord right here, brothers. It said the Spirit also help with our infirmity. What did the Lord say? I won't leave you comfortless. Go ahead, brother.
For we know not what we should pray for as we ought.
Hey, we don't know what we should pray for as we ought. Hey, a lot of times, most of our prayers are for vain things. I want some more money. I need to get out of this. It's tangibles. Very seldom are we praying for truth and understanding, righteousness. We praying for whatever we got going on right now. So we don't know what we should pray for as we ought. Go ahead. But something happening if you stand right in that law. Go ahead.
But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us.
Hey, but the Spirit itself, hey, the Lord is your intercessor, brothers and sisters. Imagine you saying the wrong thing, you can't fix it up, and the Lord up there like, Father, what my sister's trying to say is, or what my brother trying to say is.
Right.
We need that.
Yes.
You need that.
Please.
Please. I've been down there. I understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
We need that. Real talk. Go ahead, bro.
But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is in the mind of the Spirit.
Yes, sir.
Because he maketh intercession for the saints.
He know what you trying to get out.
Yeah.
He know where your heart at.
Teach.
Hey,
Yes,
he
sir.
fix it up for you. That's
Yes,
your
sir.
public defender, brothers and sisters.
Praise God for
Who
that.
don't want that? You mean to tell me all you got to do is keep the law for that? I want that. That's the best lawyer you can have is Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Tell me one better.
No.
It ain't Johnny. You don't know one no better than Jesus. You don't know a better lawyer than Jesus.
Johnny ain't.
Making intercession for you, saying things you can't get out right.
Yes, sir.
Who don't want that?
Yes, sir.
Who don't want that, brothers and sisters? Where we at, bruh?
End of 27.
Go ahead.
Because he maketh intercession for the saints.
For the saints.
For the saints.
That's the thing. He ain't doing this for everybody. You got to be a saint to get these kudos,
Yes,
to
sir.
get these benefits.
Yes, sir.
I want to be a saint.
Yes, sir.
Because you one of the two.
Yes, sir.
You a saint or a
Or
sinner? Go ahead, brother.
According to the will of God.
Yes, sir.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
Because the ones that love God keep the
Keeping his
commandments. And
commandments.
everything going to work out for you
Yes,
if you keep the commandments, brothers and sisters. That's why Paul had enough knowledge to say ain't nothing going to separate me from the love of Christ Jesus. Because he knew whatever situation I'm in, if I stay with him, I got a way out.
That's right.
Even if it's to death, I'm given a crown of life if I stay faithful unto the end. There's no losing for you. There is no losing for you.
Yes, sir.
I don't care how the situation look, you have won if you stay in the law. Where we at, bro?
Mid-28.
Go ahead.
To them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Yes, sir. Called according to his
His
purpose.
purpose.
Keeping his will.
Yes, sir.
That's the key, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, it is.
Now let's look at something else. Let's go to Job 42.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because we know to the wicked, to those that rejected the word of the Lord say, you don't pray for them.
Right.
Don't mean you shouldn't pray for people. Don't mean that. Just talking about, hey, when the wicked, they doing their thing, do like Pilate. Wash my hands of you. Job 42, we're going to read one verse, verse 10. So when I read this, I said, whoa, for real? After how crazy they talked to Job? Y'all know the story of Job, everything he went through. Then his boy showed up and made it worse. Oh, you a sinner. You must be wrong. You must be there. They dogged Job out.
Right. Yeah, they did.
Hey, and the Lord was about to get them for this. But I want us to read this one verse, Job 42 and 10. What does it read?
And the Lord turned the captivity of Job.
When he did what?
Prayed for his friend.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before.
Uh-huh. So even if you're going to be righteous, you're going to have to pray for people. You're going to have to pray for people sometimes that's dogging you out. That's talking about you.
Bless
that's
them.
falsely accusing you. You got to pray for them, brothers and sisters, just so you be who you say you are. Let's go to Luke chapter 6.
Teach, bro.
Luke 6, we're going to pick it up at verse 27. Luke 6, and we're going to pick it up at verse 27. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
But I say unto you which hear.
I say unto you which hear. That's the key word. He ain't talking to everybody. Only the ones listening. Only the ones listening and got some understanding. Hey, the Lord say the first commandment was, Hear, O Israel. Hey, go ahead, bro.
But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies. Do good to them which hate you.
Uh-huh. And the ones that hear have understanding. That's the key to this. And so it's telling you, hey, love your enemies and do good to them which hate you. Go ahead. What else?
Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use
And that's
you.
a hard pill to swallow, but that's a righteous act, brothers and sisters. That's a righteous act. And there's a reason behind it. Let's go to Matthew 5.
Teach, bro.
Matthew 5, we're going to pick it up at verse 43. Matthew 5, and we're going to pick it up at verse 43. And when you get there, my brother, keep feeding us.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Hold on, where are you at? 5 and 43? 43?
Oh,
Matthew
43.
5? Matthew 5 and 43, I'm sorry.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor, and hate thine enemy.
Uh-huh.
But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you.
Uh-huh. And he's still speaking to those which hear. Go ahead.
Do good to them that hate you.
Uh-huh.
And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you.
Yes, sir.
Why? Somebody said you got to. The question we got to answer is why?
That ye may be the children of your Father.
Oh, so you just like your daddy. Oh, Jesus, hey, he prayed for those that despitefully used him,
Yes,
didn't
he did.
He prayed for those that persecuted him, didn't he? What did he tell Job to do? He said the Lord turned Job's captivity when he did what? Pray for his friends. Go ahead, brother.
Which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good.
Uh-huh.
And sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
So you are conducting yourself the same way your father do, brothers and sisters. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. We finished that, bro?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Luke 6. And I want to read one verse, verse 36. When did the Lord do this? When did he pray for those that persecuted him? Luke 6 and verse 36. We're going to read that first, then we're going to go to Luke 23. But what does 6 and 36 say?
Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is
See,
merciful.
that's the thing, brothers. You don't wish no prey for no harm for nobody. Hey, keep it merciful, as your Father kept it merciful. Hey, at any time the Lord could have commanded them angels to come down here and wreck shop, but he didn't. Hey, and sometimes you want to do that. You want to pray for, oh, Lord, tear him up. Don't do that. That's first where the mind go when somebody cross. Lord, just, boy, let fire rain down, and you be hot sometimes. But don't do that. Let's go to Luke 23.
Don't call for the fire.
Don't
right
call
there.
no fire. Hey, because the Lord said he'll turn that thing around.
Right now.
Luke 23, let's pick it up at verse 33. Luke 23 and 33. Like I said, let's read when the Lord did this. Luke 23 and 33. What does it read, my brother?
And they were instant with loud voices.
Luke 23.
23 and 33.
33.
And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left.
The two thieves. Go ahead.
Then said Jesus,
Then said Jesus. What did he say?
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots.
He did this on his deathbed, y'all. Right before the Lord right before he about to give it up. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. That was a prayer. That was a prayer to those that were persecuting him and using him. Right there in his last state, he prayed for them. Let's look at another example. Let's go to Acts the 7th chapter. What Stephen do? Did Stephen do anything any different? Acts 7, let's pick it up at verse 53. Almost out of here, brothers and sisters. Got a few more. Acts 7, we're going to pick it up at verse 53. Hey, read this record on your own, because, boy, Stephen went in on the folks. Boy, he ran down Israel's life story, had Israel hot. Hey, and there's something to learn on that, because the way he went in, don't make it think they're going to be any different with us, because he went in. Pick it up at 53, bro. He about to conclude this thing. Let's watch what happened. Go ahead.
Who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it.
He ran down. He said, you stiff-necked, you uncircumcised, hard and ears. Boy, he ran it down, bro. Read it, boy, because Stephen blew on him.
When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart.
They were cut to the heart, the nerve of him.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they gnashed on him with their teeth.
Hey, they didn't got that mad. They just, we done been there. You ever had somebody had you leave me alone? You get like that with somebody, that's a gnashing. That's a gnashing, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
55. But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing on the right hand of God, and said,
he was still confident even in this time. Go ahead.
Behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of God.
And they couldn't take that no more.
Nope.
He saw this. What they do, bruh?
Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears.
Sick of him. Go ahead.
And ran upon him with one accord. And cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul.
Go ahead, brother.
And they stoned Stephen, calling upon God.
They were stoning him while he was praying, y'all. While he praying. Now, I know what I would do. I would have got up.
Don't say it.
Y'all ain't finna throw another I ain't there yet, y'all. That's why we do these lessons. They say when a man teaching others, he teaches himself too.
Also.
So y'all can't check me for that. We all learning together. Go ahead, brother.
Facts.
Go ahead, brother.
And they stoned Stephen, calling upon God and saying, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Yes, sir. Did he ever pray for him? Keep reading.
And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge.
Yes, sir. Children of the Father right here we read. Handling things the same way his God did. Hey, he didn't get so caught up in his emotions he couldn't pray for those that was persecuting him, that was putting him through it. Go ahead, brother.
And when he had said this, he fell asleep.
But we know when he waking up what side of the kingdom
sir,
he going to be on. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2.
That's it.
And see, this is the thing, brothers and sisters. This how we got to come at him. Turn from our wickedness. Come at the Lord right. Believe that he is. We selling ourselves short in life, not just being right. 1 Timothy chapter 2, we're going to read one verse, verse 8. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 8. When you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands.
Lifting up holy hands, that's righteousness.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Without wrath
Without wrath. So
and
hey, you
doubting.
ain't trying to pray on nobody's downfall or nothing, and without doubt.
Doubting.
You believing when you come to the Lord.
That's right.
Last place, brothers and sisters, Psalm 66. Look at something David said. David knew it. Lord, hey, the Spirit of the Lord spoke to him. Hey, this brother's understanding, when I read this right here, I was like, praise the Lord. Keep it real.
Right.
Psalm 66, we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Psalm 66 and verse 16. And when you get there, my brother, go right ahead.
Come in here, all ye that fear God.
Yes, sir.
And I will declare what he hath done for my soul.
Uh-huh. Hey, David finna testify to something. He said, hey, I'm finna tell you what the Lord has done for my soul. Go ahead.
I cried unto him with my mouth.
Uh-huh.
And he was extolled with my tongue.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
If I regard iniquity in my heart,
Hey, if I regard iniquity, if I regard sin in my heart,
the Lord will not hear me.
he ain't listening to my prayer. Go ahead.
But verily, God hath heard me.
Yes, sir.
He hath attended to the voice of my prayer.
Why? Because he stayed right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Blessed be God, which hath not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me.
Prayer, brothers and sisters, a solemn request to the Lord. I hope we know what it is now. Thank you for your time in Jesus' name. So we're going to come at them right now. We're going to come at